Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, we are going to be we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts. Woo! So, I have come up with like theory videos that I think no one has really maybe thought about or like touched base in light of Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out soon, now that we all have a release date, January 29th. I am so excited. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts since I think I can remember. I was so scared of the Heartless. Like they were scary and I could never make it past Destiny Island. Let me get to the theory that I'm actually going to be talking about. So, as you may see by the title, you're probably like, Haley, how could Roxas be Gula? Okay, so let me dive in to the heart. Just like for a minute, okay? So Gula is one of the foretellers that's on Kingdom Hearts back cover. If you guys have not seen it, I recommend it. It does a lot of lore prior to the story of Sora or even Aqua and Terra, like Birth by Sleep. So, I think that, like, you know, somehow Roxas is related to Gula, that foreteller. Okay? So, Gula is the foreteller. He is the leopard one. He's dressed in, like, the yellow outfit, the yellow robes. And yeah, so Roxas is Sora's nobody. So at the end of KH1, Sora becomes a Heartless and then splits, you know, into a Heartless. He becomes a Heartless and then Roxas is created to be his nobody. Really, Sora took this Keyblade and he, you know, plunged it into his heart so he could release Kairi's heart, okay? But we didn't really see his nobody in KH1. We only saw him as a Heartless. And Sora was whole again once Kairi saved him from being a Heartless, but Roxas, who it spelled Sora with an X in it, was still there, and he was in Twilight Town, and the organization recruited him because he could wield a Keyblade because he was Sora's nobody, but he was also, the reason why he looks like that is, he looks like Ventus, because a lot of nobodies can take different shapes, different forms, whatever, they don't have to look like people. Well, there's so much speculation, now that you know about Gula and Roxas, there's speculation that people have that Ventus, the one of the characters in Birth by Sleep, he is Gula, because if you play Kingdom Hearts Union Crossed for your mobile device, if you like beat it afterwards, you see that Ventus is one of the new foretellers after the Keyblade War. So you're like, wait, how can Ventus, if this is in ancient times, in the age of fairy tales, how can Ventus still be around, like, and be like his age in Birth by Sleep, which we actually don't know that yet. But what's funny is, like, my theory, now that we all kind of have an understanding of the situation, I just think they're all connected in a way of kind of like how Xehanort travels from bodies, okay? So, if you know Xehanort, Keyblade, you know, the bad guy, has different vessels. And he is a part of these different people. And just like, I think that is kind of how Gula is kind of, I don't want to say he is Roxas in a sense, but I think he definitely is a part of Roxas, because even in Kingdom Hearts 2, they state that, like, nobodies aren't really meant to be around, like, they don't have feelings, they don't feel emotion, they can't cry, they can't be happy, they can't do anything like that. But Roxas shows otherwise, and I think 358 days over 2, 358 over 2 days, however you want to say it, I'm pretty sure in that one he shows a lot of emotion. And even Axel, who is a nobody, just stated even to Sora in Kingdom Hearts 2 that he made him feel like he had a heart, because, actually Roxas went back to Sora at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts. The whole emotion thing kind of throws everybody off, because you're like, wait, if Roxas is a nobody, then how can he have emotion? Well, that's where I thought about the whole Gula theory, because, at first I thought, well, maybe it's because Sora has part of Ventus's heart, and because Xehanort split Ventus and into two people, kinda. He took all the darkness out of him, in which Ventus is made. So Sora lent him a piece of his heart back in Birth by Sleep when Sora was only 4 or 5. I would say 5 or 6. When he was 5 or 6.
Sora, what's wrong? Huh? You're... That's weird. It's like something's squeezing me inside. Somebody up there must be sad. Up where? They say every world is connected by one great big sky. So maybe there's somebody up there in all those worlds who's really hurting. And they're waiting for you to help them. Well, gee, do you think there's something I could do? Maybe they just need you to open your heart and listen. I don't know, Riku. You say some weird stuff sometimes, but I'll try it. Okay. Hey, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
I heard your voice. It cut through the darkness around me. All alone, I followed the sound into a sea of light and found myself here with you. You gave me something back when I needed it most. A second chance.
I did?
But now I have to go back to sleep again.
Are you sad?
Would you mind if I stayed here with you?
Sure, if it will make you feel better.
Thank you.
That theory to speculate maybe because he was comprised of 2 people, not just one, that he had a heart, kinda. That's why he could feel emotion. Maybe he doesn't have a heart, but maybe he could feel emotion because he had 2 people who he technically is a part of. But then again, I was like, wait, if I'm correct, and if anybody watches this video, you can prove me wrong in the comments, but didn't Gula flee from the Keyblade War? And if he didn't, correct me, because I don't really know much about Union Cross. But let's say that if he even did or didn't, and he, I think at some point he perished before anything, and he became part of Ventus. Which I know you're like, wait, Ventus was already around when, Gula was, so, how could they be alike? And I'm not saying, in looks-wise, I'm just saying in the way that they think and the way that they feel. So, I think, the wisdom that kind of, Gula had in the way that he acted, if you watch back cover, I think, it kind of contributes to how Ventus acts, especially in Birth by Sleep. And I think it just he kind of just jumped into Ventus's body. Obviously he couldn't, I don't think he took over it. I think he let Ventus, have all the control. But I just think that in a way, why would they pick specific people to carry them over, into the next chapter after the Keyblade War. Like, they knew at some point they were going to perish during this war. Like, all of them had a book of prophecies. And it's just like, I think if Gula was a part of Ventus, and then like the whole thing that happened to Ventus, to Sora, when he was split, it kind of took a piece of Gula and put it like onto Roxas. And like, I know it's kind of like so abstract in the way that you're like, okay, wait, that's like going through like two people to a third person. How is that even possible? But I mean, I just think that like they have to be related in a way. Like, there's no way that it could just be the foretellers and that's it. Like, I feel like to that story, they have they have like the movie about it, and then they have like the Union Cross. So I think that, you know, like, I think they play more of a role. I mean, it's so abstract and it's kind of pushing it out there, but I definitely thought it was like a good idea. Like, I definitely just thought like maybe there was a way, because why? Because if you think about it, Lee was a whole person, and you never see or hear about any of the organization's Heartless besides, you know, Terranorts, which is Ansem the Seeker of Darkness, and then Xemnas is his Nobody. So it's kind of like they kind of did the experiments in Ansem's lab at Radiant Gardens. So what if they found a way just to turn themselves into a nobody? Because where would their Heartless be? Like, the Nobodies were destroyed, so, and they got back to human form. So maybe their Heartless was still like part of them, but then they just became the Nobodies. And that's why Lee / Axel could still kind of feel, because, you know, he was a whole person. So what if, say they had, Roxas has 3 people in him, part of him, that he couldn't form maybe a little heart. But then you're gonna be like, well, what about Saïx? He's like pure evil, blah, blah, blah. Well, I mean, going in, I feel like they all knew, like, the plan, like, working in that lab, they all knew what the plan was. They all knew what they were doing. So I think before they even did the experiments, some of them did fall to darkness, and they liked it more than being part of the light. And I think that's what makes Axel so special, is that, like, he was part of the light, I think, before that. And even, like, he said in Birth by Sleep, when they're in when Ven is in Radiant Garden, oh, like, I want to live, like, I want to be remembered by everyone, blah, blah, blah. And, like, Saïx at that point, I think, still had any sense left of, like, good in him when him and Lee were friends. But, like, I think at that point, like, Axel, like, Lee / Axel knew that Saïx was, like, or / Isa was, like, done. Like, I think, like, you make that choice when you become the Nobody, that, because when they, like, were back in the lab, like, obviously, I think Isa / Saïx was taken, and we haven't seen him in any Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers yet, but I definitely think, like, I think they all made a choice, and some of them, when everything happened at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, some of them either made the choice to stay good while they were in the organization, and the others, you know, fell to darkness, and they stayed there in the darkness, and that's why they're still the same characters that we known from them, well, as them, throughout the series. So I know it's confusing, and I actually want to discuss this in the comment section, so please comment your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings. Tell me if I'm wrong, I don't care. Give this video a thumbs up, please, and if you want more Kingdom Hearts content or any other content that I'm going to be coming up with, make sure you subscribe to my channel. So next time, I'll see ya.